Welcome back to The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 here on YouTube. We're going to make this video a little brief, but you know we got to do the one breath challenge. If you like the videos that you've seen thus far, hit the like button. If not, hit the dislike button. Share these videos with other people that you know that respect comic book materials as much as you do. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. All not personalized on the one underneath. So the next time a new videos drop, you'll know about it second, and I'll know about it first. Yeah, baby. The one breath chant is in full effect. Anyway, I guess I dated myself by saying in full effect. But anyway, we're here. We're here at The Great Expanse. Thank you guys for making the channel grow. Thank you guys for enabling it growth with traffic coming in, traffic going out. And The Great Expanse by John Bat 426 can live up to its name and expand. Now, I want to make it known. As far as Batman movies go, The Batman is near the top of the list. And I know it's new, so maybe it's still that new... How do I say it? I guess it's resonating closer because it's new. So maybe when March 4th comes around, which will be a year since The Batman premiered, starring Robert Pattinson, Andy Serkis, Paul Dano, Colin Farrell, and John Turturro, and of course the lovely, almost said Zoe Saldana. Sorry about that, Zoe Kravitz. Maybe I can get a fresh perspective on how good the movie actually is. Because at the time I was like, this is the best Batman movie I've seen. Why was it the best Batman movie I've seen? So glad you asked. I actually just asked myself. Not that I'm talking to myself. But anyway, why was it the best Batman movie at the time? Because there was a lot of detective work involved. And that's what I love about Batman. The world's greatest detective. We've hardly seen him play detective. Now, in The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan said that he would be more of a detective in that one, but I don't feel like he was more of a detective in that one. Because the one time he did use detective work, it was very convoluted. Like when he carved the brick out of the wall of that apartment where they found Richard Dent and Patrick Harvey Dent. I'm like, what is... Commissioner Gordon asked him, he said, what are you doing? And Batman said, fingerprints. And then he had all these different bricks with like the same, well, all these different bricks of approximately the same hole. And he had this big gun on a turret and it was going, toof, toof, toof. And then he held up the brick that he got from the apartment and he matched it with the one that I guess more accurately looked like it. And then he did some kind of rendering, I guess the bullet fragments inside of the brick that he took. And he found, and he, what's the word called? He reverse engineered the splatter pattern of the bullet and reformed it digitally, I believe, or the virtual reality, whatever. I just know that it was a very long and convoluted process. And then he said, fingerprints on a bullet when he pushed it in with his thumb. And then Alfred looked him up based on his fingerprints. And Melvin White, Randall Apartments, overlooking the parade. To this day, I'm still like, what did he do? I have no idea what he did. If you know what he did, please explain it to me in the comment section, because I'm still ignorant to how he got that fingerprint and the process that he went about to do it. It's still confusing to me. I'm sorry, I'm trying to bring up the article here on my tablet, and it's acting stupid. And I don't like when technology does that, because technology is supposed to make things cool. It's not supposed to be like this. Alright, so The Batman made more sense because he had to use his mind to figure out the Riddler's riddles. And a lot of times, people don't really realize this. The Riddler has riddles within riddles within riddles. Now, when the Batman went to a crime scene, the Riddler would leave something obvious in an envelope that said, to the Batman. So that's why the commissioner was like, is he a part of this? Like, is he working with the Riddler? Which is a good hint. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to spoil it here. I am kind of going to spoil it, but not really. So the Batman would read it. Okay, there's a riddle in here. But then there'll be a secret riddle hidden inside of like a crucial piece of evidence. And a lot of times he had to use a black light to sort of, figure out where things were. And then there'll be more riddles. There'll be visual riddles. There was actually a key that the Batman used to have like almost a decipher. Now, Alfred did help him with that. But I love that kind of detective work. I'm not talking about this convoluted way that Christian Bale's Batman found the fingerprint of Melvin White, because that still doesn't make sense to me. But I like riddles. I really appreciated the way Batman had to figure them all out, and they all made sense. And a lot of people said, well, yeah, he really wasn't Batman. Yes, he was. This was Batman. It's still an early Batman. This is only his second year as Batman. So it's still a new Batman, okay? And I really appreciate it. I thought Robert Pattinson did a great job as Batman. I'm glad that there wasn't much Bruce Wayne in this one. The Riddler was like straight out of the Zodiac Killer, which I do believe is based on. He felt like everybody usually compares it to Seven, because the Riddler is just so murderous in this, you know, with his death traps. And I really appreciate that realistic vein of it. So that's why The Batman is near the top of my list of favorite Batman movies. So now we got word on the sequel. And there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of videos from other YouTube content creators about who the potential villain could be. I'm leaning towards Hush, because the word Hush came up. And obviously, if you're not familiar with the villain Hush, you're just like, oh, okay, Hush. But I'm sure every Batman fan at the same time is like, oh, Easter egg, dude, Hush! And maybe I'll do a video about Hush. But if it's not Hush, I'm still looking forward to this movie, the sequel to the follow-up. All right, so let's get into the article. The website is Uproxx, Uproxx, and the author is Nina Braca. And the headline says, Matt Reeves dropped some hints about who the Batman 2 main villain could be. All right, now I do believe they have a release date. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to look at it here. It's official. The Batman sequel has a 2025 release date, 2 years from now. As recently announced by the new DC Films boss James Gunn. While we don't have confirmation about which bad guy will be taunting our favorite eyeliner-wearing superhero, we do know that director Matt Reeves is excited about opening up the WBD world by using iconic characters from the comic books. Yes, they must be based on the comic books. No, they can't be shot for shot, panel for panel, because movie making is a whole different medium from a comic book. But it has to be based on the source material, which is the comic book medium. There is nothing stopping Reeves from adding in Bane or another fan-favorite bad guy, but there are many other cooler villains, like, for example, Mr. Freeze. Cooler. Get it? I'm not saying that. That's in the article. Okay. There are a few villains that Reeves seems interested in when it comes to the sequel, including Thomas Elliot, aka Hush. I just mentioned that. Elliot was a childhood friend of Bruce Wayne's who slowly turns into a jealous villain intent on bringing Batman down. I mean, who isn't at this point? Last year, Reeves told Twitter Movies that he is interested in Hush as a potential opponent in the franchise. This is a quote from Matt Reeves. That's a character that I love, that I would love to see down. Maybe we'll get the opportunity to do it. And there's a video tweet about it, but I don't know if I want to post the video. Going back to Mr. Freeze, Reeves also previously stated that he enjoyed the fantastical side of the Batman universe, including the character who was portrayed by Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1997's Batman and Robin. Why are we bringing up those atrocious Joel Schumacher movies when we're talking about a great start to a whole new iteration of Batman with Matt Reeves? Why did you do this, Nina? While promoting the Batman in 2022, Reeves told Collider that he would love to get Mr. Freeze back in the frozen saddle. The idea of something like Mr. Freeze, that's such a great story, right? Reeves said, adding that he wants to explore that side of the story. I think there's actually a grounded version of that story which could be really powerful and could be really great. So I love the fantastical side of Batman. Is this all? I hope that's not the entire article. Checking it out here. Back. Is that really the end of the article? Okay, if that's the end of the article, that really doesn't tell much. Perhaps there's more on another site, so I'm going to go to another website and hopefully they have more about Batman 2. And is that even the title, Batman 2? Alright, so let's just double it up, alright? We're going to do a video double up, okay? Alright, we're going to Movie Web, alright? And the author is Jonathan Few. The Batman Part 2 now has a release date and official title, okay? In the headline, the Batman 2 writer and director Matt Reeves calls the sequel an epic crime saga. I love that. I love when superheroes are fighting organized crime. I did a video about my favorite Spider-Man villains, my top 10 list, and 3 of them were organized crime components. I just love superheroes in costumes fighting organized crime characters, okay? The Batman Part 2, that's what it's called, The Batman Part 2. Writer and director Matt Reeves has responded to the recent release date and official title revelation describing the DC sequel as an epic crime saga. Batman works perfect in crime sagas. The Batman sequel has now been confirmed to be titled The Batman Part 2 and has been given a release date of October 3rd, 2025. All right? And it looks like writers Matt Reeves and Matt Tomlin are excited as audiences are to see the Batman return. While neither of them says too much about what they are planning for the Batman sequel, the creative pair... Sorry, but I hate pop-ups. The creative pair cannot help but take to social media, to share a brief message. While Tomlin, who contributed to the script for the first outing and will work together with director Matt Reeves to pen the sequel, simply shared a clip of Robert Pattinson's Caped Crusader looking pensive. Reeves cannot help but shout out how the Batman Part 2 will be an epic crime saga, which should come as music to the ears of Batman fans everywhere. It does. Both the title and release date for the Batman Part 2 were released yesterday as part of DC Studios heads James Gunn and Peter Safran's DCU presentation. I missed that part. Gunn revealed that the DCU will begin with a Superman reboot, Superman Legacy, in July 2025, July 11th, 2025. This will be followed by The Authority, about a superhero team with rather extreme and unorthodox methods of protecting the planet, which will then lead on to another separate Batman project titled The Brave and the Bold, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, a Swamp Thing reboot, a Wonder Woman prequel series titled Paradise Lost, the animated series Creature Commandos, a series centered on Amanda Waller, a Green Lantern series titled Lanterns, and a Booster Gold fronted series. Projects such as The Batman Part 2 will now fall under the Elseworlds title and remain completely separate from the wider DCU. Yeah, and the DC is a multiverse, but we're going to be focusing on one universe from that multiverse, Gunn explained. And if something isn't DCU, we're going to make that very clear. So strictly adult fare like Todd Phillips' Joker, or kids animation like Teen Titans Go, we're gonna make it very clear that those are DC Elseworlds just the same way that we're doing in the comic books. Details of what the Batman Part 2 will involve remain under wraps right now, but the story will pick up with Robert Pattinson as a younger Bruce Wayne. The sequel is just one part of what Matt Reeves has planned for The Dark Knight, with the writer and director crafting his own shared universe. A series centered on Colin Farrell as Oswald Oz Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, is now in development alongside an Arkham Asylum series. I did not know that. Reeves has also met with writers regarding other spin-offs revolving around Scarecrow, Clayface, and Professor Pig. Oh my goodness, I did not know this. Once again, for those in the back, the Batman Part 2 is now scheduled to be released on October 3rd, 2025. Alright, that article was way more interesting than the one about Hush, okay? And I love the fact that Matt Reeves, the Batman, is getting a universe attention, a universe feel. So it's not just movies, but we're getting an addendum, basically, to the movies in the Cobblepot series, and it says he's looking to do something with Scarecrow, Clayface, and Professor Pig. It'll be very interesting to see how they do Clayface. Because again, as Matt Reeves said, he loves the fantastical side of Batman, and we all do too. We don't just throw out characters like Clayface. We don't throw out Mr. Freeze. We don't throw out Solomon Grundy or Killer Croc. Because they give breath, B-R-E-A-D-T-H, a great word for the great experience by John Beth 426. It gives breath to Batman as a superhero. He's not just beating people with their fists. He has to use his mind. He has to deduce. He has to be a detective. You know what I mean? So he has to be a detective in order to figure out what schemes the Joker is up to, what the Riddler is up to. He has to use his fists to fight guys like Bane, even though Bane is a master strategist as well. So he does have to still use his mind, but he's using his fists against Bane. And he also has to refer to other Justice League and I'll say non-Justice League mythical characters like Zatanna, like Richard Blood, who's Etrigan the Demon. He has to refer to Dr. Fate, a mystic, to figure out how to stop crime in all of its forms. That's who Batman is. All right. And I can't wait to see the Batman Part 2 coming October 3rd, 2025. And if you like this video, if you like my reaction to these 2 articles about the upcoming The Batman sequel, hit the like button. Write a dissertation in the comments if you need be. And David Brent, please let them know where their comments go. Right there, that's where they go. And let's continue to have traffic coming in and traffic going out so that the Great Expanse can live up to its name and expand. It's in the name. Peace.